See the preserved bodies of Pompeii's victims, trapped in their agonizing final moments. This victim of Pompeii was one of the last to die, having climbed 4 meters above ground level in hopes of escaping their fate as the ash piled up around them. This Pompeii victim appears to have been attempting to crawl to safety in their last moments. This Pompeii body was found in the infamous Garden of the Fugitives. While many Pompeii victims were frozen in time face down, countless others were discovered facing upward, their haunting visage plain to see. These Pompeii casts reveal the positions that both people and animals took as they tried to protect themselves. Tourists look at the casts of bodies found in the excavations as they visit the term Stabian bath, at Pompeii. Tourists visit the Garden of the Fugitives, which contains 13 bodies of Pompeii victims who were buried by the ashes as they attempted to flee. Bodies from the ruins of Pompeii, preserved in the positions in which these people died. Pompeii victims' blood literally boiled due to the overwhelming temperatures sparked by the eruption. Pumice stones the size of softballs rained down on Pompeii following the eruption of Vesuvius. Few victims' teeth are visible in such striking detail. Researchers have found the bodies of Pompeii victims in an enormous variety of different positions. Unsurprisingly, a great number of Pompeii victims were found lying on their sides, just like this one. With 13 bodies in one place, the Garden of the Fugitives is one of the most densely populated of Vesuvius killing fields. Plaster casts of 3 victims in the necropolis of Porta Nocera in Pompeii. The bodies of Pompeii victims are maintained via extremely careful restoration work. A restorer at work on one of the plaster casts recovered from the excavations of Pompeii. The remains of a number of horses, donkeys, and other domesticated animals have also been found at Pompeii. The bodies of 2 adults and 1 child are preserved in the Garden of the Fugitives in Pompeii. Tourists look at the casts of bodies found in the excavations as they visit the ruins of the Macellum at Pompeii. Cast replica of a child victim found in the Garden of the Fugitives. 1 Pompeii body undergoes preservation work. Pompeii bodies inside the Garden of the Fugitives show the contorted positions that many victims were found in at their last moments. Pompeii bodies on display before the renovation of the Antiquarium of Pompeii. A tourist looks at petrified human bodies inside the Villa of Mysteries in Pompeii. Scientists continue to analyze the Pompeii bodies for clues to how ancient Romans lived their lives. Many victims of Vesuvius were found lying face down. Inside the Garden of the Fugitives. Inside the Garden of the Fugitives. Many Pompeii bodies are on display and encased in glass for protection and preservation. Those who were killed by the eruption of Vesuvius died agonizing deaths as the overwhelming heat boiled their blood. The remains of an entire family that succumbed to the eruption. The death throes of this dog were preserved for eternity beneath the ash of Vesuvius. An 1864 photograph of the casts of a mother and daughter who were killed side by side. Archaeological workers extract the mummified bodies of 2 adults and 3 children from earthen mold on May 1, 1961. Although some 2,000 people died in Pompeii when Vesuvius, another 10,000 people managed to evacuate. One of the victims of Vesuvius desperately tried to shield his face from the deadly ash and gas. Bodies on the ground in the Garden of the Fugitives. Plaster casts of victims of Pompeii on display in the archaeological park. This mother and child were killed side by side when they were overcome by the fumes.